Have you ever sat down with a group of progressive, like-minded fellow youth, watched a documentary, and discussed it together afterwards? This is exactly what today's video covers. A documentary evening with the Learning Club of Boundless Minds, an institution that prepares young people for work, entrepreneurship, and social justice by facilitating school-to-work transition for students and recent graduates through training, entry-level work placement, and mentor matching. Entitled Congo My Precious, in a session led by Angel Kabera, the Soweto, that is, singer and poet, it centered around the life of a man doing makeshift mining in the Democratic Republic of Congo, especially for coltan, which is essential in the cell phone manufacturing industry. It brings out what his experience means to us on the African continent in a post-colonial era.
We don't know what is going on, even in Congo. All the stories of crime, of insecurity, of looting, of rape are just around the minerals of Congo. It's a scandal. They call it geological scandal. Because here we have uranium. It's uranium from Congo that they throw on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We have cobalt. We have diamond. We have gold. We have coltan. We have cassiterite. We have tourmaline. We have all the minerals you can think in your head here in Congo. And some others we don't know even it's what.
Na tukaona utaona na tami nasema vile vya mafinance hata hakuna finance tutamuwaka kama kaendelea tutese na hapo wakati politiki ile wanamtilia naye wamuo sasa swat wow na kizungu na kuwaka na mundo waje pale anya mkumba bana wake na president kumba no kudosi president wa baseze mure hizo hivi ni vikoko bazaje leo
mule mlango iko moja lakini unaweza kuata shimu hata ine. Leza za busubuhi mpaka magharibi, bebe aliingia magharibi wanatoka wanachoka. Wengine wanabagombola, wanalala ndani. Nao kisha wanagombolewa vya vile. Ufunulia hapo. Ndio utafunulia huko na bila funu.
Unaona?
Leo tulingama mbuti.
Leo tuko tu saba. Unaona vile tuko tunakula leo, maana hapa tuko. Hapa tunateseka sana.
Hapana muangalia atakula tu maragi hapo sababu mwenyewe huko.
Hapa maana yake tunateseka sana.
Mungu sheria alinyenyera kwanza.
Tena unaona? Na hatuna mikrobi si. Tunakoka chimbana mikrobi. Sasa mama benye banatuziaka bonani hii manani madeshe tunabaonea hatuna kitu
anatupatia ile na
tunapatia hata ile madeshe wanatupatia sawa 500 francs 1000 francs tunaenda uza maharagi.
Tusiona sasa vile umasaki unakuya huko hapa kwa mtu anatukopesha hivi hapa mzee hapa
kutupatia
mwingine ile wale nyingine sasa unaona ndio msaada hiyo unaona mko natoka unaona sake moya hapa azame moya ni 350 francs. Mimi sio capable kupata isaki. Kwa mtu mweko sasa vile ndugu pale namwambie bwana unikopeshe na kupatiaka. Siku nimpatia brand kama nipatia $20 niuze mazame njoo nitumiki. Siku inapita ile siku kama siku resile vile niko atafuta mmoja ananifikisha naingia mkasho. Mbo unaona mzee aferi ya kushusha bei ya minere. Sisi tunatoka hapa tunaweka kama minere labda iko bei fulani mundizo za Bukavu. Sasa tunatoka hapa tuambia kisote kilo ni $10. Mbona itosha hapa sema ifikisha kule comptoir. Bale wazungu wanaangalia mbia wanakuambia kama ele mimi nashuka munivo ya Londres. Akishakwambia vile hauna wewe banakuonyesha kama uko na majio huna franga. Bale wanapropose wanakuambia atakuzia mkate $3. Hakuna kitu tutafanya.
Keep it inside. It helps me sometimes to shed tears. After that, I feel somehow relief.
What's hard to keep in?
We don't understand what kind of system they have put on to rule this world. I don't talk about other countries. I'm talking about my country. I'm talking about my family. And the worst, I don't see a solution. I don't think there is a solution. I think that my wife kills in front of my eyes. Many times she'll come back. When I'm alone, I'll see her talking to me. I will hear her talking to me. Now, I have a big problem with the children. I don't know what to do with them. I would like them to go abroad. Just forget this region. They have right to happiness too. They have right to joy. But in this region, they'll never get this. I'm struggling.
An interesting discussion followed, mainly around the impact of colonization on Africa and the traces of neocolonialism in some of our systems, like the mining industry in the video. Then what mindset should we have about it going forward? The question that sparked the most debate was, if colonization happened now or ended now, would it be better or worse from a youth's perspective now?
Yeah, you see, I think, as Africans, we are free people that think we are freed people. And these guys just keep us in a loop where we keep fighting for what we already have. That's just results to that.
One may have a problem.
Okay. Here's the thing. Every time I watch these things or anything to do with colonialism and so on, we are so brainwashed that we can't. Our brain sticks to the fact that these guys, the short time these guys were here, it feels like as if they did us so good, that they made us so well, and we forget what we were. Like, can't we just try to paint a picture where these guys hadn't even come?
Okay.
Can't we? No, hear me out.
Okay.
Your point of view, you're saying that because they came. Can we try to say, but what if, like, just refuse all those things? Those people never came. And then, when we begin the actual African history, when you look out for the civilization of Africa, where the library, where which kingdom is that in the west?
Timbuktu, whatever. Let me see. What's the Empire Songa? Is it Ghana? Is it Mali? Anyway, one of those ones.
Huh? That was just before those kingdoms. Were they there? Were they the whites who did that? No.
I want to.
It was us.
I want to answer you.
Okay, please. This conversation is ideally, in my opinion, these are conversations they would want us to have. It's not a constructive conversation. I don't know who is in charge of the next one. I'd like to be the guy.
Man.
Yeah. I'm not answering, but maybe you want to liaise with Angel. I'm not the guy to choose.
This conversation is like, bouncing a ball. We're going in circles. But okay, you can revert in 30 seconds.
I can revert in 30 seconds.
Yes.
We're counting 1.
Now, what really makes colonialism bad is, if, let me say Uganda is said to have been a British protectorate, not really a colony, because they just want to have the feel of control the source of the Nile, just in case of anything. But if that kind of development was there before majority of the Africans were educated, you guys imagine we are colonized now and we are this educated and informed, don't you think would have been better? So from that documentary, you see, these guys, when the Belgians were there, because I think all the roads those guys passed through were developed by the Belgians. And if you are following the subtitles, for those that don't get bored by reading those words, you'll notice that the how much they were selling minerals then was higher than they're selling now, right? And then they were not yet educated. They barely knew like the purpose of all these things. Now they know, but they're still cuffed, and they can't still sell the same things, because I mean there are all these parties involved, so they even don't know who they're selling their minerals to, which is actually sad. So may I believe, and I know, like if colonialists stayed here, and maybe they just handled the administration, because even the administration in Uganda is still like lacking. If you took off time, I think it's still running. It's November. You guys can go to the Uganda Museum. They're running a Uganda at 60 documentary showing how Uganda, like the whole journey to Uganda's independence, and it's organized by a white man. I think Kabera that day was complaining that, man, it's whites that tell our history, but
our stories.
If you keep lamenting, like if you keep lamenting, like with all due respect, like I say, I don't think the name of my name matters as long as I live my life to my expectation. I think I'll know I'll be there. I can even change my name in the future and then give it a new meaning. If I keep clinging to, man, I'm called Mukasa because the god of what. So I feel like that's very, very unnecessary in my point of view again. Yeah, so if you guys go and watch a documentary at the Uganda Museum, it's just 5K entrance. Like take time and they run a whole documentary, and this is what one of the guys, an old man, said. When days to independence, they were really excited because they felt like now they'll go to offices and no longer see white men and see black people in those offices. So they were really excited. But just after 1 month, they really wished these guys never left.
I disagree with Seji because I think, okay, my own thinking, I'm looking at it from this perspective, that if those guys come back, it might create a cycle, because they'll come back, then take over, then we'll want them to give us our power back, then we are going to go back to the same thing. Then, so I feel like we should learn our lessons from history. If the Belgians did that, they are no longer there. Probably, okay, no, because currently the presidents there might also have issues, because why are they solving that? So I feel like it should be more of a lesson than self-pity. So we should like get up and we change, like we have the future in our hands, we could change it.
I would like to say this. I mean, I've been listening, watching. You become exactly what you think you want to be. Like even a kid, or if you were young, most of you know this because now at our age, there are things you wanted to become. If you strongly believed you had to be that and nothing else, then you became. Yeah. For me, I became whatever I was, and whatever disadvantages, you become what you want to become as long as you feel there's nothing else that you have to do. So even now, in this situation, as Africans, we can become what we want to be. I mean, if you want to be a defeated group, somebody is saying we can't do this, you won't do it actually. That's like a natural law. You won't do it. Well, that's what you think. But if you believe you have no choice but to have some dignity as a people, defend yourselves, do certain things, and you have a critical mass of people who think that, we will become.
I think Angel should moderate from now on, guys. Before anyone continues speaking, Angel.
You submitted.
No, Angel should, guys. Angel is the boss here.
Okay, according to history, Red Indians, then they throw African, they throw people from China, people, and then they suddenly discover themselves, and then they took on English. And as time came on, They realized they need to be independent. They made the English more fancy, yeah. And then they made American English because they realized that we Africans have never realized that, and may never realize that. That's the honest truth.
Yeah. So why I chose this documentary specifically is this guy said he doesn't think there's a solution, but I think we can collect, like Sergi said, there's a solution, yeah. And I think the solution starts from decentralizing change. Like if we look at it practically, like quite literally, what can Mr. Beast do to end what's happening in Congo?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
Our leader for the day wrapped up the discussion with a call to decentralize change. We finally agreed to disagree on whether colonization and post-colonial systems have brought more harm than good, and focused on what we can do to ensure the next generation has a more economically independent Africa. I look forward to these documentary evenings every last Wednesday of the month at Sankara Pan-African Library. Many similar ones have gone on with topics like the history of African conflicts, listening to a TED Talk on what it means to be African, and some Diary of a CEO clips with deep insights. That's all we have for you today. Don't forget to give us a comment down below on what you thought about our discussion. See you next time.